Hi, this is Dr. Sage Breslin, and this is Wisdom Wednesdays, the evening edition. I asked myself many times today, what was coming through for me, what I wanted to share with you today. And interestingly, I could not find a time to record until now at 5:20 p.m. And it kind of came up that in fact is the theme. This sense I have of not being in control of this ship. Control is something I love. As a trauma survivor, I love to assume control. It helps me feel focused and grounded, and sometimes I do get sort of knocked off my apple cart so that just to prove to me that I'm not the one who's in control, that there is something larger than me that is in control of how my life proceeds. And while I think that God has a really wicked sense of humor, I truly believe in an all-loving God. So in the last 3 months, things have really gone weirdly. I don't even know how to describe it. I have noticed just so many things come up, like proving, oh, you're not in control of that either. I had a tremendous amount of dental work done, some of it kind of traumatic. And was finally kind of coming out the other side and really feeling good about it. I just had a second crown put in last weekend. And today I have a toothache. Yesterday I had a toothache kind of emanating from that same area. And I just had this fear that I had a tooth extraction on the other side a couple months before. That had about the same feeling where, the crown was installed and it broke the tooth, and then the whole thing had to come out. So it was spending all of the money to do all of these things. And then it's just like, setting money on fire, right? Except it's big money. And then the extraction and the implant process, and that's like 9 months long. So, that was sort of the beginning, I guess. Having pretty good test results and finding myself a bit envious of a friend who had even better test results, only come to find out that the friend has now fallen out of remission and is preparing for the fight of her life. I won't know my test results until next month. So don't quite know how that is unfolding for me, although I have just felt exhausted. But I think anyone in my position, trying to do all of these things, manage all of these things, including all of the events which keep on telling me, you're not in control. You're not in control. Hey, by the way, you're still not in control. I just, I'm ready to call a Yahtzee on it, right? I'm ready to say, okay, God, I get it. I'm not in control. Here it is. I give my life to you. I trust that you'll do the best job you possibly can do with it. And, let me know. Now, can I stop with the dental problems? Can I stop with this? Can I stop with house problems? Can I stop with kid problems? Please, can I just call an end to all of the ways in which I am being allowed to experience this out of controlness of it all? So one of the things that has come up during this sort of 3-month process of trying to laugh actually my way through this, I'm doing my best to do that. It's an expensive, out of control process. So that's not very funny. That makes things a little bit more stressful. Or motivated, I guess, motivated to bring more business in and to reach more people and to share my gifts with people. however you look at it, right? It's whatever way you spin it for yourself. But one of the things I was doing is a colleague of mine, Ed Rush, many of you know him. He's a former fighter pilot, has just written the most beautiful book called God Talks. And as part of my commitment to him, I really wanted to see what he had to say. I had been I've experienced in the process. I've coached with him. I've used it in workshops that he's done and in work with him. And I know the power of it. I mean, I had an incredible epiphany while in a workshop with him. And so I was really curious how the book would come out. So not only did I read the book by Kindle, I also ordered the book because I wanted it on my bookshelf. And then I actually bought the Audible because Ed has a very cool, a very cool voice, a very cool vibe. And I was just curious. I don't really do anything on Audible because, I have a brain injury. And so listening is not my easiest sensory modality. That would be like visual or kinesthetic. So I have to work really hard when I'm coaching and counseling to pay attention. Anyway, I listened to the Audible and it was like relaxing into a really cozy, warm blanket. He was saying, well, maybe it's not Morgan Freeman great, but I think it is actually. I had a great time listening to his voice and listening to the book that way as well. But let's circle back. The reason I really wanted to do it was I wanted to push myself to get back into my own practice of God Talks. And I would say my relationship with God is really great. And I do a lot of communication with him so that I can, keep my ship going in the right direction. But the book it makes it wonderfully easy. It gives you a very simple way of advancing forward with that. And I've found myself actually since reading the book twice, I've been talking about it to a lot of my patients and my clients, and have found myself doing the technique much more than I had been in the past and just loving the results. And so here I was, right? Okay, I'm in this weird spin of 3 months, everything going sideways, which way and back. And here comes this book landing in my lap. And of course, the whole book is about your connection with God. I'm like, okay, I got it. Okay. I got it. You're with me. Go for it. So, I am hoping that, this will help me clear the slate, be back on the path with him, front and center, and that I will no longer have to experience all the ways in which I am feeling out of control. So that is my share for today. My wisdom, it's pretty simple. My wisdom is we're never alone. God's always there. Doesn't even matter if you're an atheist. Great. Connect to the wisest part of yourself then. You might hear me say that that's probably God too, but that's fine. No pressure. So you're not alone. Not only am I right here, but there's always somebody with you. This is Wisdom Wednesdays, and this is Dr. Sage Breslin.